Brohm, and then questions, please. Coach, go ahead.
Well, very happy for our team. That was a big win for us. It was hard fought. As you guys know, we needed to win to get this Big Ten season started off right. I thought our fans were outstanding, as they've been in the 2 games we've had, which really made a difference and really made our guys play hard. As we saw out there, our defense has stood up to the challenge 4 games in a row. The great thing is, when I watch it play, and I'm sure you guys do, we challenge everything, challenge every route, every throw, every run. It was a big back we had to tackle all game long. I thought they did a good job of getting them to the ground, eliminating a lot of big plays, and played to the very end. And I know they got a few things going there at the end, but played to the end, and there was no give. So great job by our defensive coaches and players. Very proud of them. I thought our special teams got us an advantage. It's great to see Jack, punt the ball like we've seen every day in practice, and sometimes that happens. It takes a little while for somebody to get comfortable out there in the game setting, so I'm hopeful that it will carry over. And offensively, it wasn't one of our better days. Fortunately, we are down some running backs. We lost our tight end. Our other tight end's been banged up. We couldn't muster any yards on the ground, and that makes you one-dimensional. And in order to win football games going forward, we've got to figure that out because it's creating too much pressure on our passing game and our offensive line and quarterback. So it made it difficult. So we put in Aiden O'Connell, who is our most accurate passer when we felt like it may be a one-dimensional game and we're going to have to throw the ball. I thought he did a really good job. Yes, he had 2 interceptions. One, we can't have down there in scoring territory, but it happened. The other one hit our receiver in the hand. But you know what? He played hard. We saw some new receivers emerge, which is I'm very proud of those guys because they practiced for a long time and haven't had their number called a whole lot, and they had to step up against in a tough defensive battle and figure out a way to catch the ball. And we made some second-level throws on the last drive that we had to have because they were dropping pass coverage, dropping covering the short throws, making you throw that intermediate, not giving you the deep pass. And we finally hit some. So proud of our guys. It's good to win, and we've got to figure out ways to get better.
Jeff, you talked about the receivers stepping up. Milton had a big game. Yassine had a big game. Milton's played a lot. Yassine hasn't played very much. Just kind of what did he add? When you finally threw the ball downfield, he made a big play. And I know that ended with an interception in the end zone, but he gave you some deep ball kind of threat that without David you were missing.
Well, I was proud of Milton. He's a guy that's played second fiddle to David for a while. Played second fiddle to Rondell. But he works his tail off every single practice and every single day, and he's never complained one time. And that's normally doesn't happen. So I give him a lot of credit. So it was his time to kind of step up. And I know he maybe dropped one early going into to score, but he made plays. He played hard, and that's what you love about him. He competes. I'm not for sure. I didn't see the stats. Brock Thompson, how many catches he has, but I thought he was at least solid out there. And then of course we had Abdur step up and make big catches. He's coming off a knee injury that, it takes a while to get healed and to feel comfortable. And, we've kind of developed a pattern of one practice on for him and one practice off to take care of his knee because it's probably still not 100%. But he stepped in there and got it done. So it just kind of shows the ability he has, and he's a great worker as well. So I'm very, very proud of Abdur. And then TJ Sheffield, played hard and got some more snaps. Made a tough catch on a tightly contested slant, got in the end zone. So I was happy for him. And of course, Jackson Anthrop has been steady for us. So yeah, the receivers had to step up, and Aiden had to step up, and the O-line had to pass protect more than we'd like. So we hung in there, and even though it didn't look very promising for a while, we found a way to pick it up at the end.
Jeff, what did Aiden give you that Jack wasn't giving you there in the second half?
Well, I like both of our quarterbacks. I wish we could develop a little more balance. I think would help Jack play more efficient. When we have some simple throws and completions, we have to hit them. It's valuable, and he was just a little off. He's been occasionally a little bit off on some of those, but you know what? He's still a very good football player, and we like him. We just felt because we became one-dimensional, Aiden has played for us. We think he's our most accurate passer. That's no disservice to Jack. Jack's a really good quarterback and an accurate passer, but Aiden is an accurate football thrower, and that's kind of what his strength is. Stand in there, and we made second level throws. We had a few turnovers, obviously, that we can't have, but you know what? He's poised. He played to the end, and he helped us find a way to win.
Hey Jeff, just talk a little bit first about King. What's wrong with King, and how long do you think he'll be out?
He's got some medical condition that I really can't elaborate on. That I'm not for sure how long he'll be out, unfortunately. And he's been fighting through it, and unfortunately, some things flared up, and he was not able to go at all.
Do you know anything about Payne Durham's situation, or even Branson Dean and DeMarcus Mitchell?
At Payne, I'm not for sure. I'm sure he probably got nicked in the head. If I told you, I would be guessing right now, so I don't have the full update on him. Branson obviously didn't finish the game, was in street clothes. I'll probably know more by Monday if they'll have a chance of being available next week.
Well, what's going to happen at quarterback? Is Aiden going to be the number one guy now?
Well, we'll have to look at it. There's a lot of things we need to work on to help that position play better. At the same time, when you go into a game, you got to kind of who are our best players and who needs to touch the ball. And there are some receivers that needs to touch the ball compared to maybe running backs getting it as much. It may make us a little more one-dimensional than we like. So we'll kind of see where we're at those positions, and come Monday, we'll try to figure that out.
Coach, Rose Bowl team here in the stadium. I mean, fans, you talked about how great it was. How exciting is that for you and satisfying to see a full house and just everybody going crazy for your team? And what's your team think of that with those guys back and want to prepare?
Well, our Purdue fans have been outstanding, and it's to me it's second to none. They pack the stadium. They get there early. The students are involved. They're loud. They believe in the team. They support the team. They're there for them. I mean, it's been outstanding. And you see it in basketball. You see it in volleyball. This is a great community of people that are hard-working, blue-collar, that appreciate teams that play hard. So that's kind of what we want to do. We want to play as hard as we can, and obviously hope for a good outcome. So thankful for them. Our team. What was the second part of your question?
Just how exciting it was. I mean, with just the
Oh,
fans here.
yeah. So the Rose Bowl guys coming back was great. That's a big accomplishment. Obviously we had Drew talk to our team before the game. We're thankful for everything he does for our team, for the school. I mean, just the best ambassador you can think of for a university. So we appreciate everything he's done, and I know the whole team, our group of guys that maybe weren't 5 stars. They came in here and believed in themselves and found a way to turn a program around and do something special. And going to Rose Bowl is something special. So we're happy to always have them around, and any wisdom they can give us and our team, we always appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Jeff, with George getting double or triple team most of the day, just the ability of your defensive tackles maybe to win those one-on-one matchups and come up big in third and fourth down situations.
Well, you're right, and there were multiple times I saw 3 guys blocking George, so that should open up some lanes for the others. And you know what? I think Coach Hagan has done a great job with our defensive line. We actually have depth at that position. We have quite a few guys now. There are some that need to play up to the par of the others, but all of them are getting on the field, and they're able to rotate, and they're able to halfway stay fresh. Obviously, we want our best guys out there as much as we can, but we have a lot of defensive linemen, and it has helped our defense function better. We have a lot of linebackers, and even though maybe not a lot of them have played, we have depth there. We're a little short in the secondary, but we have a big group of guys that have played a lot of football. And sometimes when you play a lot of football and you haven't won like you'd like to, it makes you hungry, it makes you want to go prove yourself. And through 4 games, those guys have proved themselves.
Looks like you did more 2-back stuff, a little bit of pistol stuff in the running game. Just how important is it to, scheme a running game here if you're going to be shorthanded, from a personnel perspective?
We've got a lot of work to do. So, we'd like to kind of figure out a way to get a few more yards, a few more chunks. We've got a lot of work to do. So we tried to do a couple different things, like you said. We had a little bit of an option package in that basically it's a bad pitch, or the guy got over quarterback quick, or it didn't quite happen. And of corner squeeze, and it kind of took us out of that a little bit. So we've got to, figure out, the defense, last two defenses we played have dropped a lot of guys in coverage, have disguised coverage, have played much deeper to not get anything over their head, have given up the intermediate routes, which means you got to protect and be able to run 15 to 18 yard routes and hit the throws. They've played different fronts. They've dropped 8 guys into coverage, and they're challenging us to run the ball. So, we've got work to do to figure out ways to get that going because we're going to need it as we continue through the season.
Coach, you talked about Abdur a little bit already, but just coming off of an injury, coming in today and just making the plays he was able to make, how much do you think that'll kind of boost his confidence, moving forward?
Like I said, I'm probably as proud as Abdur as anybody. He's been down for a little bit in the dumps that, maybe the knee's not where he wants it to be as fast as he wants. His father's heavily involved and a great person and wants to see his son do well, and he knows that he has a lot of talent. This is a young man that changed his mind at the last minute and came somewhere that throws the football and showcases his skills. So we want to do our part and help him do that. So for him to hang in there, go through the rehab, not play at the very beginning of the year, and then figure out a way to get in there in game 4 and step up and make really, really big plays, no drops, great catches. That's what we've seen from him. That's what he knows he can do, but carrying over the game is a different story. So for him to do that in truly game 1, even though he's played a few plays here and there, I'm very proud of him. And I know it's something that hopefully he can build upon and be a difference maker for us.
Jeff, you talked about depth on the defensive side. Obviously, losing Rondale the last couple of years, with losing David this year, is receiver really an offensive position where you felt we have that depth? Obviously, you don't want to lose a number 1 receiver, but you have 5-6 guys that are capable of rotating and playing those positions.
Well, luckily we do. Losing David and Marshawn Rice, who was really coming on, that was a blow. We had to move some guys around. Some guys had to play more than they had in the past. New guys had to emerge, and we went with some 4 wide out sets to we're short at tight end and we're short at running back, and we went with a couple empty sets. So more guys are going to get an opportunity, but we want to figure out a way to get our best 11 on the field and then our next best ones on the field afterwards. And you'd like for it to be a mixture of running backs, tight ends, and receivers, and maybe we can continue to develop that to get it to that point. But right now, we're not at that point. And, I thought Jaquez and Dylan played hard, but I'll have to watch the film and see how we can get better there.
Final questions for Coach, please.
Jeff, at what point this week did you rule David out, and is he anywhere close to getting through protocol?
Well, I never ruled him out because I would never do that. But they go through concussion protocol, and it's out of our hands. So it's up to the trainers and the doctors, and we're always hopeful that he can get out there and play again. At the same time, we want to do what's best for David, and he's got a bright future. He made a lot of progress, and he got close and just didn't turn the corner. And to come back in one game is tough. I know way back when I thought I was a player and I played in the XFL and I got hit pretty good and had a concussion. Back when we didn't know really how bad those are, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Hey, the protocol says you got to sit out one game." I said, "Well, hold on, Mr. Doctor. This is the XFL, and as far as I know, there's no rules." And I got a bunch of buddies coming in. I went playing the game, and I actually played well the next game. Now, you know what? That's a long time ago. I know there's a different world, but in all seriousness, you know what? Those things are serious injuries. Someone's brain is something you got to take care of. So we'll follow the exact protocol and make sure that when he's fully healthy, we'll get him back on the field.